Welcome to Cross Transformation. It's Mariam here, and today I'm going to be talking to you about cutting bonds with a narcissist. This can be quite challenging and difficult because there is that desire to go back to that toxic and abusive relationship, and we don't know why we would be having that desire. Personally, I was having a hard time. I was trying to let go. I was trying to cut bonds with that person, but I couldn't. I kept finding myself having that desire to work it out with that person. Eventually, as part of my personal growth journey, I understood that desire wasn't of love, it was of trauma. So if you've got that desire to go back to a narcissistic partner, please look into it. That desire is not of love, it is of trauma. Because with a narcissistic partner, what happens is there is that trigger in the unconscious, and those childhood traumas do come to the surface level, and because they are very familiar, we want to work it out with that narcissistic partner. But truly working it out with that person is somehow in the unconscious, it's somehow an opportunity to repair those ruptured connections and relationships with our primary caregivers. So be mindful of that. That desire is not of love, it is of healing childhood traumas. Those traumas do have an attraction power, and the core of it is to fix our childhood relationships. So the unconscious would do anything to get those relationships, the ones from our childhood, sorted and repaired. So that is freedom in the unconscious, but our freedom is here and now. The consciousness that we are can be it, can become it, and embrace it. Now today I want to talk about a couple of things when it comes to cutting bonds with a narcissistic partner. First of all, we want to understand what a relationship would mean to a narcissist. And what is it? It is revenge. So is that what you really want? Because you may have something similar that would reciprocate with that revenge. So we want to understand the unconscious, and we can use that revenge to work through our own stuff. So a narcissist is not interested in love, is not interested in experiencing love, a mutual loving, committed relationship. It's all about the abandoned self outside of them, and that revenge is to have us, to have you, to take that revenge on us so they can let go of that neglect that they experience as a child. So we really want to understand, is it what I really want? Do I want to be a victim to a narcissist and be there for them so they can take revenge on me because they couldn't do that to their primary caregivers? So when it comes to having a relationship, a narcissist wants to have a relationship from the place of revenge, and from revenge to love there is a big emotional gap, and we need to understand that. So there is no way to have that agreement with a narcissist that, please listen to me, I want to love you and I want to feel loved, and let's create something wonderful that is of love. To a narcissist, it's all about, I'm taking that revenge, and that is the unconscious program that they have got going on. So please have this awareness as, or if you decide to be with a narcissistic person, that the intention behind having a relationship is going to be very different to yours. And if you don't want to be in a relationship with a narcissistic partner, then understand the unconscious and see what could be there that would reciprocate with that revenge. Second, we really want to understand meanings and perceptions of love. To a narcissistic partner, the meaning of love is guilt, punishment, that you're going to abandon them. So there's always that element of somehow something can go wrong with you. So before that can happen, I'm going to take care of that. There's always that, alarm going off about revenge. So we really want to understand what meanings and perceptions would a narcissistic partner have about or of love. So that is very important, and we really want to understand our own meanings and perceptions of love so we don't find ourselves falling in love with a narcissistic person. Also, another thing is a narcissistic partner would guilt trip. So we want to understand guilt, and we want to deal with it in the unconscious mind, because by feeling guilty about our inability to be there for a narcissistic partner, we are going to hurt ourselves again and again and again, because somehow we have got this narrative going on in the unconscious that tells us you are guilty to be accepted, to be loved, to feel that you have been approved of. You need to go back to that toxic relationship, to that abusive relationship with that narcissistic person, because that feeling of guilt in me is a match to the action and the behavior of guilt tripping that a narcissistic partner would do. So you know what I'm saying? So you really want to understand if you've got guilt going on because you have to love somebody in order not to feel guilty, and that person happened to be your primary caregiver. So your mother, for example, was a narcissistic mother. My mother was, and she was making me feel guilty because I couldn't love her, and then I couldn't feel approved of. I couldn't feel that I was accepted. So as a result, I had to feel guilty, to feel that she would approve of me, to think that I could be loved by her, and I kept staying in that relationship. So what happened to me was I kept looking for narcissistic partners to fulfill the same thing about guilt. So be mindful of what is going on in the unconscious again. Are you carrying guilt, and are you trying to seek approval by feeling guilty and by loving someone who really doesn't want to be loved? They just want us to feel guilty, because that is a way that would lead to that revenge. It's kind of fulfilling to them, to that partner. So much going on when it comes to understanding the unconscious mind, the narratives, the meanings, and the perceptions that we have got going on when we are dealing with a narcissistic person. We don't have to do stuff in a manifested reality with a narcissist. We can always realize the consciousnesses that we are and create a connection from that perspective, from that plane of existence, instead of trying to go back to something that was unhealthy, that was toxic and abusive to begin with. So don't allow your ego to convince you that By giving them another chance, you would be able to work through things. Think about it. Think about it. Hopefully you'll find this video helpful. Bless your soul. Thank you again for subscribing to the channel and supporting the channel. May you be blessed. Have a great day. Look after your precious soul, and I'll talk to you soon. God bless you.